Hey there, Sovereigns. Monica Grace from cardreadingqueen.com here. Today's topic is a continuation of a couple other videos I've been doing about the runner-chaser dynamic and why the masculine and the feminine end up in this dynamic. Specifically in this video, I'm going to talk about what happens when they connect on the bridge of the heart, aka the heart chakra. As a quick review of some of my other videos, I talked about how the masculine and feminine come up through the chakras to this journey in very different ways. So the masculine is going through the root chakra, then the sacral chakra, solar plexus chakra, and heart chakra, while the feminine is going down through the crown chakra, third eye chakra, throat chakra, and heart chakra. And what happens at the end is they meet on the bridge of the heart. However, even though they are meeting on the bridge of the heart and they are both in the heart chakra and working on that, it turns out that they can still have this runner-chaser dynamic. And what I wanted to do in this video is explain a little bit more about what's actually happening in that dynamic during this part of the journey. I also want to explain why this part of the journey can sometimes take the longest, or why it seems to kind of go on and on forever, and seems to take longer sometimes than even the first 3 pairings of the chakras beforehand. So what's going on in this part of the journey is really 5 different things, all of which are the same exact thing, but I'm going to break them down as 5 different things to just give a better explanation and more clarity as to what each is experiencing. Now, unlike the previous pairings, the 2 are basically experiencing the same thing. So what's happening is that the energies do look pretty merged. It looks like they're doing kind of the same thing, and they're experiencing the same thing in this phase. There's also a greater deal of communication because the 2 of them are really starting to understand what this journey is actually about, and they're truly feeling that love for each other and understanding the connection on a much deeper level. The beauty of that is that they have a lot of compassion and love and patience for one another. At the same time, things are still moving slowly because there's just a lot of additional healing to do. And the healing, again, it revolves around the same exact thing. So let me break down these 5 different things and try to go into some depth on each one of them. The first thing that the 2 counterparts are healing is unconditional love, not just for each other, but also for all things and all people. This is a really big deal and not an easy thing to heal. As it turns out, if you have a lack of love for really anybody, and it can be somebody you know, somebody you don't know, it could be that you don't like the president of your country, for example, and so you have lots and lots of hatred towards him. It could also be that there's a group of people in your neighborhood, in your town, in your community that you don't like. All of this is a lack of unconditional love. It's a separateness from others, and thus a separateness from God, as He's the creator of all of us. And this can cause tension in your twin soul connection. This doesn't mean that you need to suddenly love the president of your country, or that you need to suddenly love this community or this group of people who are doing terrible things in the world. That's not what this is. It's really just about understanding the energy of unconditional love. Now, unconditional love has a lot of boundaries. I just want to be clear. It doesn't mean, spilling your love energy to whoever or having to accept what others are doing, especially if it's something you don't agree with. It's about the energy of unconditional love. So it's about developing unconditional love toward everyone and everything in your experience. Another thing that trips up twin souls with the unconditional love piece is accepting all of your twin souls' decisions, whether you agree with them or not. It's really about loving your twin soul so much that you want them to be happy, and that happiness is not based on anything. It's not based on how they treat you, how they relate to you. And I want to be clear when I say how they treat you. Certainly do not stand for any sort of abuse. That's not what I'm talking about. What I mean more is that they don't need to like contact you every day. So that's what I mean by treatment. It's about accepting them as they are, and it's about accepting their choices. So if they are healing through contrast, for example, like say they decide they don't want to be with you, they want to be with somebody else, or they want to be alone, or they want to stay just friends, or they don't want to talk to you right now, they want to block you, whatever it is. Deciding that it's okay if they are choosing to heal through contrast and just loving them anyway. The second point of healing in the heart chakra is coming into full surrender to God. When I say God, it could be the universe, your higher power, whatever, but being in full surrender of not just where he is guiding you, also being in full surrender of how he created you. And so just being in real union with the things that you truly desire in your heart. Everything that you truly desire in your heart, it was not only meant for you, but it's also something that God placed there when he created you. If you are denying something in your heart, then you are denying yourself. You're just denying your creator, who is God. And as a result, you're creating that separateness. This is all about just loving yourself for who you are and being true to yourself and being fully authentic and accepting every single part of you. An additional thing that sometimes trips up the twin souls is the idea of the Trinity, which is basically that as you and your twin soul grow together, you also grow closer to God and vice versa. So as you grow closer to God, you will grow closer to your twin soul. You have to really understand this dynamic, and this is just something that you're healing, that knowing that your twin soul is actually the physical manifestation of God on this planet. The way your twin soul loves you and how you love your twin soul, that's your direct relationship with God. It's just, it's basically you've manifested God in the physical, and that is your twin soul. And then, of course, what you eventually start to realize is that you've manifested everything on this planet. So everything that's in your reality, you have manifested it, and it all represents your relationship with God. So whatever you're noticing, it's showing you either union or separateness with God. The third thing to heal is being completely at peace with the external world. No matter what is happening in your external reality, you are at peace, you are surrendered, and you are accepting of your current circumstances. This also means that you are, again, healing separateness from your creator. It's also about inner union. So uniting your masculine and feminine within and having those be in complete harmony. So harmonious energies within and having that inner union so that everything outside of you can fall into union as well. The fourth thing you're healing, which again, I'm starting to feel like I'm repeating myself because these are actually all the same thing, is that you are feeling just immense joy for life. So you truly have passion for your current life, you're building a beautiful life, and you're just generally happy most of the time. Being happy is all about choosing to be happy despite what your external circumstances tell you. It's also about building and creating beauty in your life. So, doing things with God, having God as your partner and somebody that you're conversing with on a regular basis. It's about creating love, beauty, and abundance in everything you do. So if you're creating a meal, for example, like pouring love into that meal or pouring love into the YouTube video you're creating, like I am right now. It's all about just bringing your joy and authenticity to your current life, regardless of how your life looks or what future goals you have, and knowing that you're working toward those goals and that you're moving toward even more love, beauty, and peace and joy in your life. And then the last thing you're healing is having self-love. And for this one, the biggest thing is setting good boundaries for yourself, releasing anything that just doesn't feel good to you. So if a conversation doesn't feel good, just kind of gracefully leaving the conversation, or even just something I've started doing in the more recent years is just divesting my energy from things that don't feel good. So for me, I think holidays, for example, are always a trying time for everybody, and definitely a challenge to your spirituality, like whatever you've been working on healing. It's very easy for that to get triggered during the holidays when you're seeing, all these family members that you can't completely escape from. Something I've done more recently is just divest my energy from those situations. Same with friendships. If something's just not feeling good, I just divest my energy. So it's not like it's not like a Kali energy of like cutting, or like a Queen of Swords energy of like cutting that person loose. It's more just like, okay, like I'm just not putting energy into this. I think conversations, activities, projects, even jobs, just pull your energy away from whatever does not feel good anymore. And that's one of the best ways that I've found to set a boundary. The other piece of self-love is just creating a life you love, creating a life that you do not need an escape from. This is really important. I think so many people think self-love is like a bubble bath and like a piece of chocolate and, I don't know, driving a luxury car or whatever it is, taking a day off, that sort of thing. And all of those can definitely be a part of self-love. But in my opinion, it's really about creating a life that you don't need to escape from. So you don't need a vacation because you actually love your life and you're enjoying every aspect of it. As you can see, and I've said this a couple times now, but all 5 of these are really the same thing. It's really about coming into unconditional love and healing that separation from God. The 2 of you are going to be doing this, and you're going to be doing it on all different levels. And so it may cause a break because it's really the 2 of you hermiting in many ways, and it's on both ends. You may be deciding things and you may be communicating about them, but overall, you're really trying to love yourselves and love your own life, create joy in your life. And that doesn't require a partner. It can actually just be something you do on your own. And it can be really beautiful. And so as you create that life, and you're kind of creating these separately in many ways, you may be communicating about how you want to come together, but you're still living very separately in the physical. It doesn't feel separate, and that's the piece that you have to heal. So if you're still feeling like, oh, like I'm super triggered that we're living these separate lives, that's what you have to heal during this phase. Like that's what this opening of the heart chakra is really about. It's about coming into a deeper alignment with true love and not with obsession or romance or any of that stuff. Like that's all very 3D. Even something like labels. This is something I've learned recently, having labels, like, is it a friendship? Is it a relationship? Are we acquaintances? Are we, whatever we are. I've seen that a lot where it's like, really the label doesn't matter. A label is just there to describe the energy that you're feeling in the connection. I hope this video was helpful to you to show you how the counterparts are both aligning in the heart chakra, and really truly the energies are pretty much the same at this point. And they're definitely matching each other almost step for step. And at the same time, they're not coming together in the physical. And this is what's going on, is that they are truly healing this separation from God, and they could be healing that in many, many different ways, and they're just finding joy alone, basically, finding joy in their own lives. So there could be a break here, but just know that as all that healing happens, that they will be coming back together, because as they heal that separation, they're growing closer to God, And as a result, they will grow closer to each other. And if that's not something you believe, again, that's what you're here in the heart chakra to heal. That's the piece that you're trying to heal, or one of the big pieces that you're trying to heal, is really understanding that trinity. If you're interested in learning more about this, make sure you check out my other videos on the topic. Just go to cardreadingqueen.com/YouTube to check that out. There is a playlist there that's all about the masculine and the feminine and this stuff about the chakras. Also, make sure you check out my freebies on the topic. So I have a couple that are about masculine and feminine dynamics. Go to cardreadingqueen.com/freebies to grab those. Additionally, you'll want to check out my book, Your Twin Soul Journey. Just go to cardreadingqueen.com/twin soul journey. In the book, I have a chapter that goes all into detail on the chakra stuff, and I also talk about some of the other dynamics between the masculine and feminine and ways to shift from distorted to divine on both sides. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you have a beautiful and blessed day.